Today is not about beauty hacks, and today is not about recipe hacks. Today is about life hacks. Here is how to do life. Hello and welcome to this episode. Today I have no makeup on. So yesterday I was watching Wayne Goss and I love him as a makeup artist. He's really good. I love him as a YouTube artist. I actually didn't know anything about him before. But so one of his signature tips, Wayne, I'm giving you credit. This is a Wayne method of adding argan oil into foundation, and I loved it. I love the idea of it, but so I tried it today, and there is a but. Sorry, Wayne, but in Indian summer, oil on foundation, especially if you're traveling by bike, is a little tough. Like, my skin generally is dry, it's not oily, but what happens in summer is that we tend to sweat a lot. In winters, this is fantastic for Indian skin. Put a drop of argan oil with your waterproof foundation and then apply your foundation. It is amazing in terms of flawlessness and stuff. I loved the look. It was different. I felt like a little heavy. Generally what happens with makeup, at least the way I wear my makeup, is that my makeup feels light. So I don't really feel like I'm wearing too much makeup. Of course, today I'm feeling even more lighter. I feel like I'm flying because I haven't worn any makeup. Now, that said, I would totally recommend the oil method, the Wayne Goss method of adding oil into your foundation. The logic and everything is correct, given that you're not going by bike and exposed to Indian dust and Indian, the dirt and grime, because what happens with oil, I think it just sucks it in. Although he has this beautiful, I'm going to leave a link of this video down in the description. He has this amazing way of saying let the powder seal it, but I think somewhere down the line you can't even put that much translucent powder to kind of soak up all the oil, that the dirt, the grime also starts mixing with your oil. I don't have much B-roll in this video. Whatever I have, I will slap on, but generally speaking, this is going to be me going chopper, talking about keeping it real. I have 5 tips for women which I too need to follow, which will help you really get your life in order. The first tip is drink water. I don't do this myself. I sometimes have to tell people to help me. So drink water is very basic, but what I would say is ask somebody in the house to help you remember to drink water. I don't drink water sometimes till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, because I'm so I'm busy in the mornings and I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm finding things for my daughter. So generally speaking, I tend to forget myself. So that's another thing that women at home tend to do. We forget ourselves. So tip number 1 is drink water. Okay. Now tip number 2 is another thing I don't do. The reason I'm telling you this is not just because I want to preach to you. I also need to do this myself. So these tips are for me as well. So tip number 2 is exercise. Everyone who knows me and who's watching this video is gonna laugh, because they know how resistant I am to exercise. I do sometimes do the 8 joules, which is exercise in Tai Chi, but I also sometimes do Pilates stretches. But in terms of taking a walk and going to the gym and all, that's just I don't like it, but it's very important to do it. And I think after making this video, I feel like I need to kind of push myself to do that. So tip number 2 is exercise, even if it means light stretches, even if it means like a lot of people, I have a few fitness friends who tell me that housework is not exercise, and I don't think they've swept and swabbed a house to figure out the amount of work that is. Definitely now that my house help has come home, I'm not doing that also. So generally I'm getting back into my my lazy, I don't think it's lazy, but it's just busy in other department kind of thing. But if you can get time to walk, great. If not, then just do some stretches. Pilates is great for home if you can't leave your house, if it's too hot. There are a lot of nice resources online. I have found, like, my fingers were feeling a little hurt, like they were hurting, and then because I think I cut a lot of, like, I do a lot of cutting in my recipes, and then I work a lot with my fingers. What I've learned is just simple exercises like this, and like even like holding your, I saw this video where it says hold your thumb, your fingers to kind of de-stress, and then put your thumb on your hand like this. I mean, there's lots of videos that will show you these kind of things to help you get your circulation up. If you have a sweet and loving husband, please ask him to give you a massage. I once met a doctor who told me that a massage daily is really helpful in terms of circulation. So of course, husbands, I know it's not practical to give your wife a massage daily, but try. Who knows, maybe it'll improve things in your marriage. I don't know. Tip number 3 is don't be so perfect. I feel like we all want to be excellent, but we all also forget that we are humans, and we may not be able to do so many things. Like, for example, I can't wash my curtains, dry my curtains, fold my clothes, wash all the clothes, do dishes, sweep and swab, take care of my child, engage her, play with her, cuddle with her, and do my work. I mean, a lot of super women do that. I'm not. I mean, I can't personally, I can't sustain that. I can't do that daily. I may do that like in India. I don't know if this is in other countries, but in India we have the prime time cleaning. That's when guests are coming home. So what happens is everything, like there's a hurricane of energy and adrenaline that everybody gets in the house, including kids. When somebody's coming home, then suddenly you have a guest and suddenly your house is so clean, and you're like, it's always like this. But the truth is that we all have those dining tables that have the the clutter, and we all have those days where we have that secret mess in our bathroom where only when guests come that we don't want, we clear it up. So I'm not saying be messy in your house, but I'm saying find a way to get things done by not being so perfect, like not putting pressure on yourself to be perfect, but find a way to kind of work around your schedule. Like, there are a lot of Pinterest resources where they give you like a 1-month plan in how to clean your full house day by day, and not like spend your whole day doing it, like maybe 1 hour of cleaning. Like my husband is in charge, like dividing the work. So I divide the work with my husband. He's like, according to Indian like husbands, my husband is like the ideal husband because he helps in the house. In my books, everyone should help, even kids. But what we do is like my husband takes on one section of the responsibility and I take one section, because both of us are working. It doesn't really matter about who's earning or who's not earning. The fact is that everybody needs help, and everybody needs you to lend a hand. So husbands out there, I know my viewership is more men than women, so husbands out there, here is a tip: help your woman in housework and she will love you more and more and more. Trust me, it works. Smile, even if it's really hard. I know a lot of times I get overwhelmed with the amount of work I have. Sometimes it's a deadline, sometimes it's just the sheer overburden of housework. What happened was, when my house help wasn't there, I couldn't manage 3 meals a day and clean the house and manage Zoe and manage my work. It was really difficult, and that was the time when I was uploading like 4 times a week. So that was a very challenging time of my life. But what happens is, it's okay. There will be days when you just feel like crying. There'll be days when you, like, definitely mothers with young babies who just need you for every second. It's not like it gets worse, but the challenges change, and maybe you don't have to change diapers anymore, but you may, like, older kids may need some emotional support or something to do or some activity to engage. No matter what the problem is, it is not the end of the world. And that is another thing that it really also ties up with, don't be so concerned about being perfect. When things don't go right and when you want to cry, don't force yourself to smile. But after you've cried, after all the tears are dried out of your eyes, then just smile, because that's all you have. Like literally, like just look at yourself and smile. It's the only blessing that you can give yourself. Finally, take care of yourself. I feel like it also ties up with drinking water, but I feel like women don't take care of themselves. They don't take care of themselves emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. We invest all our energy on others, but we don't invest energy on ourselves. And I feel like even if it means brushing your hair one day, even if it means having a bath when you're not able to, even if it means going out with your girlfriends or going for a movie, whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you satisfied. If cooking is overwhelming you, then take care of yourself and order out if you can afford it. Nowadays, ordering food has become so expensive that it's cheaper to kind of cook food at home. But I find prepping really helpful, and I find that planning your meals really helpful. So find ways and shortcuts and hacks to kind of take care of yourself. It isn't just drink water and exercise and all that, but it's just emotionally be kind to yourself. Don't be harsh, because everybody is going to be harsh on you. Everyone is going to sit and judge you, and you're not going to, sometimes you may not even feel like you have any friends in the world. But in that sense, if learn to be your own friend, because if you can't be your friend, then whose friend are you going to be, you know? So that is an important part. I think I'm still learning that. I feel like all these tips that I'm giving is just some things that I'm learning myself to like inculcate into my own life. There will be weeks that are wonderful, and there'll be weeks that are super hard, and in the wonderful days, like, be happy and grateful that you have those days. And then the hard days, I feel like sometimes we don't take things with a pinch of salt. We don't keep things light, and it's really important to do it, not for others. Honestly, you want to stress everybody out, please go ahead, but for yourself. Like, a lot of people talk about how anger and unforgiveness doesn't harm you, doesn't harm the other person, it harms yourself. I'm not just talking about in terms of what you eat, in terms of how you look, even if it means just brushing your hair once a day. Some of us don't get time to do that, that's why we get these haircuts. But I do want to say that your emotional health and your physical health is very, very important. And I know this for a fact, that when I'm not feeling emotionally happy, my health suffers, I get sick. So just think about how ways that you can take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. Many people are not kind to you, and many people are not understanding, and many people don't think like they need to give you the benefit of doubt. And the truth is, they don't need to. Nobody needs to give you any benefit of doubt. The truth is that you need to give yourself a benefit of doubt. You need to learn how to love yourself, and hopefully in this journey of life, you will find a place where you can look at yourself and feel happy and satisfied. So those are my 5 tips for the week. It's a little heavy-handed, and definitely I do miss wearing makeup, but I feel like this is also important. It's important to find a way to embrace yourself, and that's what I'm doing here. Coming in front of the camera without makeup, for a person like me who has under eyes, who has dark circles, is very challenging. But push yourself and see where you really can find a way to overcome your own fears and insecurities, because in the end, it's really all about processing you. Okay, that's all I have for you today, but stay tuned. I do post every Thursday.